the saying in Freemasonry, which is to perfect that which was left imperfect, is not a new saying. It was said thousands of years ago. And what they mean by that is to perfect, number one, mankind, primarily. Remake man in a better image, not a haphazard, hurried one. Scientifically. Purpose made, you might say. A designer man for a designed function. And everything else in nature would be redesigned and perfected, because nature, on the one hand, is a big obstacle to the elite. What is true, that nature cannot be your friend either. It can and can't. It depends on the time of year and the seasons and where you happen to be and the circumstances you're in at the time. Let's be honest about this. When we're sitting in a cozy, warm house, it's very easy to fall into the traps of the propaganda that's put out constantly on all media to do with we've got to love nature, we've got to respect and love it and take care of it. It sounds all wonderful and natural, etc. But from the earliest of days, we've had to fight nature as well. When you are cold and you're hungry and it's snowing or it's pouring rain and there's trees falling down with lightning around you, nature also has a mind of its own. And you are irrelevant in nature's scheme of things when it comes down to it. Just as irrelevant as a deer being brought down by a wolf. Because we're human doesn't make any difference to nature. So nature has been studied tremendously. And through the secrets of nature, the sciences, that's what they mean by the secrets of nature, they decided a long time ago to first understand it and then change it. And like everything else in this particular religion that runs everything, they will control it. They want to control nature. Everything that's happening today in every sphere is about planned control. The control freaks are here indeed. And they have no tolerance for differing points of view on anything which is given out as being politically correct at the time. And in fact, they would try and squash a square peg into a round hole rather than just admit they're wrong. That won't happen. We saw that in the Soviet Union. When they found people who just didn't fit into the Soviet system, whose thoughts were not molded along the Soviet agenda, who didn't parrot the proper phrases automatically and force themselves to believe it. And those people were punished severely because ideology is a tremendous, tremendous enemy of humankind. Ideology is a terrifying thing in all ages. Ideology is the destroyer. In this world, you must have differences. I've met people who have, I think, are friendly arguments with. And then when you want to say, well, we'll leave it at that, we can agree to differ, and go home thinking no more about it, only to find out they can't stop. Their job to them is to make you agree with them. And I have met people in my life, down through my life like that. And that means potentially they're a control freak. So the ones at the top have the same traits of many of those at the bottom. It's a human trait of many people. Not all, but many people. You have to accept the differences in society to have peace. It must be that way. Otherwise, it's uniform. There is no free thought. There's no free opinion on anything. There isn't even a free discussion on anything because people will simply gang up on you and kill you for being different. And this is a sad statement on society. Religion is full of very, very true allegories That's why we're given them. And the bringer of bad news, for instance, is often killed by the mob who demanded to hear it in the first place. And that's partly true of what's happening to me at the moment as well. I don't teach people who aren't certain, or at least I'm not certain of, who want to be woken up. What they really want is a truth they've already decided upon. In other words, what they want to tell you what they already believe. That isn't seeking truth whatsoever. And if you veer off from where they want you to go, in other words, you're not giving them the answers they want to hear, they will turn on you. And that's why traditionally, done through all religions, all the bringers of truth or messiahs or whoever, call them what you want, the mob that followed them at one point are the same mob that jeer them when they're dying. And those people are called the profane, those in the darkness. Why are they in the darkness? Because they want to be there. They would only move from the darkness to somewhere else if they had a guarantee that it would already fit their existing paradigm, their idea of what it should be like. So when people ask me, how do I wake up, how do I go further, I don't give them a pat answer, a one-size-fits-all answer. You have to first be sure the person is serious. You have to get inside their headspace to find out where they are at in their headspace. How much do they truly understand? What are they capable of understanding? What are they willing to give up in order to understand? And most truly are not willing to give up many of their pet beliefs. So you're back to square one. They're not looking for truth at all. They're looking for a guarantee. They're looking for someone to say, there, don't worry, it's going to be all right for you. Others think they can buy truth. And so they go into organizations where the program, and I use the word program because they're given the program, this is what you're going to be taught, this stage, that stage, and so on and so on. And they pay to be programmed. And to say program is a neutral term. It depends on the intent and the end product of it. Just like education, it can be either one too. But people pay to be programmed. And really what they've done is pick the religion they'd already believed in. It's the one they already had decided upon. So they go religion shopping. And the New Age movement has more books put out in the last 30 years than maybe all the books on Christianity, and that takes some beating. And every week there's a new fad, a new super talker who says super things, which is all the rehash of the old stuff, really. And they'll pull in either the usual stuff. It's either astronomy, astrology, tarot cards, teacup reading. That's not really trendy today because it's just too vague for people. And right down to even using pendulums. There are people who went through the pendulum period of the New Age who cannot make a decision without swinging a pendulum to find out if it's the way they're supposed to go. This is madness. It's madness. But people today are so terrified of everything. They want something else to reassure them that it's going to be all right, without being willing to work on themselves. The New Age movement doesn't encourage you to truly look at yourself on a daily basis. What it does is train you to ignore all those around you, because you and yourself are you really a good person. In fact, you're all that matters. For any truth, any high truth